Hello everyone! Today, I'll show you how to remove the drive shaft and replace the outer CV joint. For those who follow the channel, you know that in the previous video, I mentioned that the left outer CV joint in my car started crunching again. This time, I'll try to replace the joint in a new way for me. I'll remove the wheel, take out the outer joint, then unscrew the inner joint from the gearbox and pull out the entire drive shaft to replace the joint outside of the car. Alright, let's get started. As usual, I'll remove the front wheel using the car jack and don't forget to loosen the hub bolt right away. I'll use this socket for that. And remember to put the car in gear to lock the wheels. Next, I'll try to loosen the bolt with my foot. As you can see, the bolt wasn't tightened too much since I already loosened it recently. After loosening the hub bolt, don't forget that you also need to loosen the bolts, securing the wheel disc, and then lift the car to remove the wheel. Once the wheel is off, I'll unscrew the hub bolt. Next, I'll start unscrewing the bolts, securing the drive shaft to the gearbox. As you can see, the bolts are under a protective cover, and it's not very convenient to reach them. I crawled under the car to make it easier for me to reach the bolts, but it's better to do this procedure on a lift. To unscrew the bolts, I'll use this star-shaped socket with a size of M10. I insert the socket into the bolt, then attach the adapter, put the car in gear, and loosen the bolt. This way I unscrew 3 bolts, then I disengage the gear to turn the wheel and loosen the remaining bolts. But before that, let me show you how to remove the outer joint. Removing the outer joint is very simple. This applies to Audi A6 C5 and Passat B5 cars. Simply raise the lower control arms with a jack, which will slightly increase the distance from the wheel hub to the gearbox, providing enough space to remove the outer joint. But don't forget to turn the steering wheel in the opposite direction, and you need to remove the joint by bending it. As you can see, I'm just a couple of millimeters short, so I can raise the control arms a bit more. If it's still a bit difficult, it means you haven't turned the steering wheel enough. I've turned it even more now, and this distance is enough to remove the outer joint. And now I can finally unscrew the inner joint from the gearbox so that I can pull out the entire drive shaft. As you can see, nothing complicated. And I managed to remove the drive shaft with the joints. Now let's replace the outer joint. And while we're at it, we can check the condition of the inner one. In the previous video, I showed how to check the joints, and it was found that the inner joint is in excellent condition. Now we just need to replace the outer joint, which, as you can see, has torn the boot again. It turns out the culprit is once again the poorly secured clamp. As you can see, the boot is well attached from this side, but it rotates from this side. So, I loosen the boot and look at this hole. I'm really annoyed that such a small thing requires replacing the joint. I hope I won't make such mistakes in the future. I bought a new joint and will try to replace it on the removed drive shaft. Let's start by removing the old joint. So I remove the clamp and then start screwing the bolt to pull off the joint. I heard a click, which means the circlip no longer holds the joint, and I can remove it from the drive shaft easily. Here's the circlip and here's the joint itself. Alright, now let's clean everything from the old grease and install the new joint. So I cleaned the shaft. It's very convenient to work outside the car. Then I put on the new boot and clamp. Next, I place the metal and plastic washers, just as I do in the video. And don't forget to install the circlip. Then I unpack the new joint and apply the grease from the kit into it. I filled the joint with grease and applied a little on the shaft. Then I carefully put the joint on the shaft. In my case, I managed to put the joint on by hand without interference from the circlip. But if you can't do it, you can tap the joint with a hammer. I'm doing everything very carefully so that no grease gets under the boot. As you can see, I've put on the boot. I haven't tightened the clamps yet, and as you can see, it fits very snugly around the joint and doesn't rotate. Next, I'll tighten the clamps with a tool and try to rotate the boot by hand. The boot fits very well. I hope it won't rotate and tear in the future. Next, I'll reinstall the shaft into the car in reverse order. Just out of curiosity, I disassembled and cleaned the old joint that was crunching. Overall, there's wear on the housing, race, and separator. As you can see, there are indentations on the housing. There's also wear here, in this area. None of my joints have worn out like this one. I hope this video was helpful. See you soon in the next videos.